What's going on, guys? My name is Rumble Skrash. Welcome to my first ever video of a PvP Pyro Rumble gameplay. So the main goal today is gonna be to face against really popular teams like the In team, and later on in some other video we're gonna face the Slashers too, and all kinds of teams that are considered meta and quote-unquote impossible to beat. So we are gonna be beating them and destroying them with different teams, just so that you can see that in Pyro Rumble nothing is set. You can always beat a team if you plan it correctly. So our first goal is to beat the In team, and in this video we are gonna be using a very important mechanic, which is health cuts and then fixed damage. There's other mechanics that I will do against the In team in another video, which is defense down and then multiplier damage, but in this video we are gonna be doing health cuts and then fixed damage. So you have to plan really well this kind of teams, because you want the health cut to come in first. That's really important. So you have to place your team correctly so that you can see that mostly all of the time the health cut is coming first, and if it's not, you have to plan the team correctly so that maybe it can hold another round, wait for the health cut to charge again, and then kill the enemy team. So our first team, which is I think it's one of the strongest teams that I can use. Let's see if I can find it. It's gonna be this team. It's a striker cerebral team, mostly like a striker team, except for Rayleigh, which is cerebral. The main idea of this team is that we have the Nekomamushi. Let's see, I have almost him completely leveled up. The special is not that important because the other levels just gives defense up to himself. So this Nekomamushi, the important thing is the passive. For the first 40 seconds of the battle, he gives defense up level 5. So that's very important to striker and cerebrals, because all of our main 5 teammates are striker and cerebral. You see that there's an Akaino on the bench, but I will explain later. So the first 30 seconds, it's very important to get defense up, because the In team is gonna be hitting us with a lot of multiplier damage like NL, Dofi and Blackbeard, and we need to tank a little bit of that, but we don't want too much defense because we want Rayleigh to go under 60%. Once Rayleigh is under 60%, I have almost him leveled up. Once Rayleigh is under 60%, he's gonna be giving a defense up level 5 to all of our teammates and guard up, apart from giving HP up, which he does from the start. So that's really important. So you want the right amount of defense, not too much and not too few defense. So that's the main idea. Then you want the Whitebeard to come in first, and then you want Kuzan and Law to give the fixed damage, and later on Rayleigh is gonna be coming in and destroying the enemy team. So let's explain the levels of my team. Here we see a Whitebeard. The passive is not relevant. I have it somewhat leveled up, but it's not important. The important thing is the special. I have it at level 7. It could go better, so it goes to show that this team has much more potential than I have my units now. Let's see, I have only level 6 Kuzan, so it could be much better. Like my Kuzan is dealing 1950 damage, and it could deal 2500. So that's so much damage. And my Law is actually just level 5. Imagine, like, if this team is able to beat the In team, as you will see, imagine it maxed. So that's the main idea of the team. The main idea is for resist the enemy specials. Whitebeard does the health cut. Maybe Nekomamushi does his health cut. It's not that essential, but if he does, that's a positive thing. He will probably do it a little bit later than the first fixed damage activation, but it's okay. And then the very important thing is going to be Law activating, then Kuzan activating, and normally, as I have seen, Kuzan specials activate so the enemy team gets binded, and as you can see, Law is giving speed up to all of our characters except for Rayleigh. So Rayleigh, he has a really high cooldown, 45 seconds. So at the very start, it's not that important if he attacks or not, but there's some point of the battle which coincides with the point where Kuzan activates his special, because as you see, it's 35 seconds, you have to add a little bit more of these seconds. So normally when Kuzan activates, he will bind the enemy team and he will give time to Rayleigh to attack and activate the special. So that's a really important thing that you plan correctly. And normally the Rayleigh kills a lot of the units, but let's say this team has a backup, because let's say that one of your unit dies. Let's say Kuzan dies or Law dies. Then you have this Akainu, which under 50 seconds and under 30 seconds, he will save the day, basically. At level 5, if you add all this up, that's 5,200 damage, which is more than enough to destroy the enemy team. And as you will be seeing, I think, in the clips that I'm going to be showing, that in some moments where it seemed that it was a sketchy win, we finally came in and destroyed the enemy team with Akainu. If you're struggling with the team, then Akainu saves the day. So I'll leave you guys with the video of the per Rumble match. So let's face off against the in team. As you can see, I managed to find a completely, absolutely maxed in team. Everything is maxed, so I don't think Carrot is completely maxed, but she's very, very maxed. So that will serve as an example that with my under level team, I can beat a completely fully maxed in team. So that's gonna be really, really good. You will see. Sometimes it's gonna look scary, but this team is like that. And don't forget that if one of your unit dies, then Akainu can save the day. Sometimes it can go wrong, mostly if it's a completely maxed out in team. But as you can see, the enemy team has a lot of defense, a lot of the HP up, a lot of speed. That should look like a really, really good team, and it actually is. But you can always find a way to counter it. So as you can see, Whitebeard coming in with a health cut. Now, as you can see, probably the Nekomamushi won't activate his special before the fixed damage. As I said earlier, that's gonna be no problem. Maybe he does because of Jozu. If he doesn't, it's not that important. The important thing is that he is giving the defense down. Oh yes, he activates. That's okay. That would have been the same if he hadn't done this. If he had activated after one of the health cuts, that's actually okay. But as you can see, it's RNG at the end of the day. Now we have a lot of defense, so our units have resisted the first wave of specials except for Katakuri. But now Law does his job. He has done everything he should have for the match. Katakuri coming in, he kills the Law. No, not a problem. He has done what he had to do. That's a bit of a shame because we don't have the speed up, but that's okay. Akainu comes in. It's already 55 seconds. He's starting to charge the special. It would have been nice if his special Law had died with more charged special. And as you can see, Kuzan doesn't even bind the whole enemy team. And we will still manage because Rayleigh actually does a full wipeout, almost. And actually Carrot is not a problem. She doesn't have any defense, so it's a bit of a meme to put Carrot on an in team on the bench because she actually just dies if Dove is dead. So that's the thing. Carrot does something. Yeah, my Kuzan dies. That's unfortunate. That's not a problem because now we just won because the enemy team just has the defense from NL, and NL is about to die. Blackbeard dies, and NL also dies. That's the thing. Like this match was really, really good. But the thing is, we still had like 32 seconds. So that's a-okay. So after you guys saw what this last team did, you will be thinking, because it was a pre-recorded video, if you noticed, that maybe I just put the clip in which I managed to beat it. I will add at the end of the video some clips of just random clips of me with that team beating other in teams and in team that showed. You will be asking what's the win rate. Normally I did a test, and for example for 5 days I didn't gem, but for 5 days I was beating only in teams, and just the first in team that showed that was properly leveled up, I was facing them, and I came up with of every 15 good leveled up in teams, you're gonna be maybe losing one, and you're gonna be winning all the rest of them, as I experimented a little bit. That could be more if your team is more leveled up. So that's a relatively safe team because of the Akainu. If you're struggling, he saves the day, as I said. But hope you guys enjoyed that video. But we're gonna be trying now to do a different kind of team. Right now we are gonna be using the same principle of health cuts and fixed damage, but with different units, so that you can see that it doesn't have to be this team. Like I'm gonna be wanting to use, let's see, this team. Okay, the main idea of this team, still we are facing the in team again. So the main idea of the in team is that we don't want the Flamingo special to activate if we don't have any defense with Shankscrew and Rayleigh. So we want to delay the enemy Doflamingo and maybe the enemy Enel, just who knows, and Blackbeard, just enough so that 30 seconds pass. Once 30 seconds have passed, then we get the level 5 defense up of Shankscrew. Rayleigh has received enough damage so that you get the defense up level 5, and then Shankscrew has activated his special, that's defense up level, in my case 13, because he is level 8 special, but maxed he would be level, in total you would have level 14 defense. And then later on, Rayleigh is gonna activate the special and give you even more defense. When you have level 13 defense, the in team is doing nothing to you. The only troublesome units are Katakuri and Jozu. But if you manage to actually that they activate before, like as early as you can, so that your units have a lot of health, it's not a problem. You can do it. So the main idea is that to delay the enemy units so that you get the defense up so you can resist, and your way of killing is gonna be this Whitebeard, the god of health cuts, and the health cut of Shankscrew, that this time is gonna activate mostly surely before Whitebeard, which is okay. And then you have 2 fixed damage in Carrot and Law, and then you have the fixed damage of Rayleigh. Carrot is basically giving, apart from giving fixed damage and cooldown reduction, she's giving speed up, which is very important too. And Law is there to delay the enemy team, apart from giving fixed damage, and he gives himself a special CT up level 6, which is actually great. So that means you can activate. But the only thing with this team is that you are using a Psy unit, and the in team has Katakuri, which gives level 4 defense down to Psy units. So this Law is actually starts off the match with defense down level 4, which that could be a problem. But then again, you want the Law, apart from giving the fixed damage, which with his cooldown reduction he will probably get his special off. You want him basically at the start of the match to delay the first round of specials, so you don't actually really care that much if he dies after he has activated or not his special, because then Otama comes in, and then it becomes a rainbow team in which it's basically unkillable. Mostly it's unkillable for the in team, because the in team doesn't have that consistent health cuts and fixed damage. That would be the only way or one of the only ways to beat this team once it's all the specials and passives are popped off and it's ready to go. So let's see how it goes. It's gonna be one of my first times trying this team, but I wanted to give you guys another team with health cuts and fixed damage. So let's see how this goes. It doesn't have a lot of defense, so that's a problem. But now let's face off against an in team. We're gonna be searching for an in team. Maybe if we can find a leveled up in team. Let's see. No in teams. Maybe we can here find some. No. Yes, here we have an in team. That's a dangerous in team because he has Fujitora, which could be a bit of a problem. That's true, it doesn't have Blackbeard. But I mean, that's actually what I think is the optimal in team. But let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. It's very leveled up except for Fujitora, but Fujitora doesn't actually need to be leveled up to be useful, so we are probably gonna die here. It just, if it's not showcasing this team, it's showcasing the optimal in team without Blackbeard. You guys are gonna be seeing, like, look, without Blackbeard this team has already 18 HP up. You don't need more HP up, and you already have like level 11 defense. You don't need, at the start of the battle, you don't need more than that. Blackbeard is doing nothing there, and if the enemy team has a lot of defense, then Blackbeard is actually doing no damage. So that's the thing. See, okay, Whitebeard activated his special, then we have another health cut. Then if we can actually activate the Law and Carrot, why is Shankscrew's health so low? I don't understand that, but that's okay. Now it's 30 seconds have passed and Dofi activates, then again the delay worked, but let's see. So Law activates his special, maybe, yep, doesn't kill anyone. Enel is about to die. Jozu is actually gonna be kind of a problem. Yep, our Shankscrew, I'm a little bit scared for Shankscrew, but if Carrot, yeah, Shankscrew and Law are gonna die, probably. Maybe Shankscrew not, but Law, yes. So Carrot comes in, that's good, because maybe he can save Shankscrew, but Carrot is coming in with fixed damage, wiping out the enemy team. Okay, that's really good, and then Rayleigh ends the match. So you see that this is a very good mechanic and team too. Like if now Dofi were to activate the special, we wouldn't die because we have a lot of defense up, and even so we have Otama to heal us, so that's absolutely no problem. Dofi's dead, so here you go, you have another in team beaten. So that's it. Is it gonna die or not? Okay, no, not yet. Now, yes. Okay, so we have another in team beaten by another kind of team. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We get to scroll. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it helped you see that there's no unbeatable team. I will put you guys a lot of footage, not a lot because I don't want this video to be too long, but I will put you guys some footage at the end of this video, so right now, without me commenting or anything, just so that you can see that it's not these times that I've been lucky and that I've beaten the in team. Like, you can consistently beat every in team that pops off. Maybe this last team, if the in team is completely maxed, that could be a problem, but the first team, as you have seen, I don't care if it's completely maxed, you can always beat it. If it's completely maxed, that may be a little bit more of RNG, but at the end of the day, it's an in team. Almost nobody has it completely maxed, and even if they have, you can beat them with my properly leveled units, but as you saw there, like my Akainu level 5, my Lo's level 5 special, my Kuzan's level 6, like my units are kind of under leveled. So if I am able with that first team to beat a fully completely maxed in team, and as you saw with a carrot on the bench, like that team just works. So, and this second team that I've shown you guys, maybe it wouldn't work against a completely maxed in team, or maybe it would be a lot more of RNG. But at the end of the day, I think that these two videos serve as an example that the in team is beatable also. And that's a good thing. Like these both teams that I have just shown, maybe the first one, for example, destroys the in team a lot of the times, but if you put it on a defense team, people are gonna find a way to kill it, because it's not a team built so that it can win against any team. It's a team built so that it can win the in team, which everyone is putting on the defense team. And I think that's a really important thing, because people are putting the meta teams, the slashers, the in teams, and probably now the rainbow teams on the defense, and that's not really good, because everyone is putting the same team. They're not gonna get a lot of defenses, and people are scared of these teams, so people are actually facing off the weird looking teams. So that's good if you can, for example, put some of these teams as a defense. If you know that most of the people are using the in team, for example, as an attack, you put a straight up counter to it as a defense. So yeah, the people that are not using the in team are gonna be able to beat your team, but as a majority of people are using the in team or maybe the slasher team, if you put a specific counter to some of these teams, you can get a lot of defenses, because your team is it's gonna be weird looking. I mean, kind of, and a lot of people are gonna say, oh, that's not the slasher team, oh, that's not the in team, let's face this team, because and you're probably gonna get a lot of defenses. Mostly on championship, don't get worried if in this block A, B, or C you're not getting a lot of defenses. Maybe 4 or 5 a day, that's okay in a block A, B, or C. In a championship, you should be getting a lot more defenses depending on your rank. But that's it. We're gonna be talking about how to plan the defense team in another video, but I hope you guys enjoyed this, and that you maybe can now beat and face the in team.